Hi everybody! So I have been living in Madagascar for about a year now, coming up on a year, and videos are long overdue. I know a lot of people have already been asking me for quite some time now for a house tour and for a day in the life and all of that. So I do have some free time on my hands right now. We are currently in the long break, so school will start back up in the beginning of September. But for now, there's no school and I have free time of no grading, no lesson planning, and I can make some videos for you guys. So enjoy! Just figured I'd answer a couple of questions before the house tour. I do live alone, and no, I do not pay rent. So the Peace Corps, when they send volunteers to site, they have the communities offer the volunteers a home to live in. So it's kind of like in exchange for having a volunteer, you have to be able to support the volunteer in the community. So I do not pay rent. I do now have electricity. When I first got here, it wasn't wired up. So about maybe 3 months ago, I don't know, I got electricity wired up, which was fantastic. Before then I was using solar panels that I had brought from home, kind of in anticipation of not having electricity. But you know, after 6 or 7 months of wear and being out in the sun, constant use, it started to degrade a little bit. So I went and I talked to my landlady, and very quickly the next day, maybe the day after, I got electricity, the wires coming up to my apartment and everything. Because all my neighbors do have it. It was just me that didn't have it. So it was nice to get that set up. So, but I haven't had to pay for the electricity. I know some volunteers do get kind of a bill come in. I haven't had a bill come in yet, so we'll see. I don't have running water. Some volunteers do. I do not. There's a well in the backyard. So any water that I want, I just go to the backyard and I pull from the well and lug up to my apartment. I can make a video of that later and show you guys what that looks like. But if you guys have any questions regarding my home and what living here is like, comment down below and I'll be sure to look through them and answer any questions that you guys have. So here we are at my front door. To the left is a window that goes into a neighbor's house, but this is my home. I have storage above right here, kind of set up a piece of wood here to act as a shelf. And then got a broom and my own little front porch area. Keep my shoes here. And it's a very small walkway, but got a cat, Gypsy, and these are his favorite boxes to tear up and to sleep in and relax in. And then I've got a plant, and this is also where I burn my trash. It's kind of loud out here, but this is the window that goes to my bedroom, and I keep it open so that Gypsy can come in and out as he pleases. And then up here I've got parachute cord that I'm using as a clothesline. So not a lot of space, but whenever I need to dry clothes, this is where it happens. This roof here, it wasn't there when I first got here, but there was problems with water leaking down below and getting into other houses. So my landlady had this built, and so now it's always dry here, but it's harder to actually dry my clothes now because it's not in the sun. But yeah, and then over here I just have like a gate and children are playing. So starting the house tour, I've got a lock here. I have a lock here as well, but it doesn't actually lock very well. Like, even if this is locked, you can still open the door. So I don't really use this anymore. But I have a padlock here And then houses here often have a nail that you kind of have to push aside. It's very common. And then I have my keys here. When I actually lock up, I'll take them with. But so this is my home. I kind of have to duck in to get here. A little step down. This is my kitchen. I have some dishes to do, but just kind of a first look. I found some chalkboard paint in the city nearby, and so I painted a couple of chalkboards on my walls. A little to-do list, shopping list, things to do when I have Wi-Fi. Let's see. I use these as shelves for storage, so I've got some toilet paper up there, I've got hand wipes, hot cocoa, sugar, salt, milk. My mom was great and knitted me some curtains for privacy. That goes into my bedroom. There's a shop next to my house that sells a bunch of different things, so I got some hanging baskets there for storage, and then more curtains that my mom knitted. There are yellow jerry cans. I use these for water. Right now they're empty, just because I haven't gone and filled them up yet, but I have 3 of them, and so I can go to the well and fill up those with water, and then I just don't have to go to the well for maybe another week or so, or 2. This is my kitchen area. I've got 2 buckets that I use for washing dishes. So you can see one of them has quite a few dishes in them right now because I need to do them. But I use one for soapy water and one for rinsing. And then I've got my washcloth hanging out there. And I can get dish soap and everything in the city nearby and hand soap there. This is my hand washing station. So when I do go and get water, I fill this up with water and I can wash my hands, I can get water for cooking, it's just so much easier when you have a faucet. So this is my own little form of running water here. I had all white walls when I first got here, and I thought that was very bland, so I bought some paint, and I still need to finish painting. I have stopped halfway through, got a little lazy, so I need to finish filling in that black there. This is my water filter, so any water that I drink, I get in the habit of putting the well water into this filter, and then afterwards I boil it, because it doesn't filter out everything. So if I don't boil it, I have to put Siro in it, which is kind of like a bleach solution, and I don't really like the taste of that. So I boil all my water. And then there's some tea that I had made. This is my stove and cooking area. I like to make pancakes every morning, so I've got my pan up there. And then that's connected to a gas tank, and it really sucks when it runs out because I have to go a half hour into the city and on public transportation, which is very crowded, to lug around a gas tank. But it lasts several months, so I don't have to do that too often. I've got my drying rack down there, a little welcome mat, some picture frames. I got those picture frames in the same place I got the hanging baskets, just right next door there's a shop. And then put some nails in the wall and a piece of wood, and I've got myself a shelf. So, a little fly trap there. And this shelf here, this is actually a lamba. So lamba means cloth, but usually a lamba juani, it is something you wear around your waist, and it kind of is a way of dressing up here, but it's also just cloth. So When you buy this, you can either use it as a piece of clothing or you can use it just as fabric around your house. So this I'm using to kind of hide what's underneath. So I've got some peanut butter, some sugar, some flowers down there. And then you always want to reuse everything because there's not really a good way of recycling here. So we reuse, or it just kind of goes to waste in the backyard and pollution. So I've got some empty peanut butter jars that I'm kind of using to hold up these shelves, and some bricks that I found outside. And then this is a cup that I use to wash things, and anytime I need to pull water, it's just a really useful cup. Got a cutting board back there. This is my salt, my baking powder. This is empty, but it held honey. My Malarone, so it prevents me from getting malaria. This is holding my powdered milk. And oil. This is honey. There's a place right close that sells honey. It's expensive, but it's delicious. And then I've got my silverware back there as well. And some pasta. Let's see. What else? Got my chalkboard. The neighbor children colored some coloring pages for me, so I've got it hanging up here. I like to use this when I go to the market to get eggs and vegetables and all of that. Got a wonderful chair that I got from a different volunteer, so when one volunteer leaves, you can kind of raid their apartment and take what you want. So one volunteer left and left behind a wonderful chair that I was very happy to take. And then I've got my little desk area with copy paper, my phone's there, and I got my lotions, my jewelry, some spices. I got my little spice rack up there. And then in this red cup it's full of plastic bags, because every time you go to the market to buy flour or to buy vegetables or anything, they put them in these plastic bags and they build up. So I try to reuse them when I can. And then I've got my tea, and this is the view out of my window here. So you've got the rice paddies, rice fields, more of the towns over there. And this is my backyard. So down there is my cabinet and Ladusi, which is my outhouse and shower house. So on the right is the outhouse, and on the left is where I shower. So I'll give you a tour of that a little later on. And then you can't see it through the trees there, but the well is back there as well.